Cisco has issued a warning about a critical zero-day vulnerability affecting its AsyncOS software, which is being actively exploited by a sophisticated threat actor known as U809686. This flaw poses significant risks to users of Cisco's Secure Email Gateway and Secure Email and Web Manager, making it crucial for organizations to take immediate precautions. The company became aware of this ongoing intrusion campaign on December 10, 2025. Reports suggest that the vulnerability, tracked as CV 2025-20393, allows attackers to execute arbitrary commands with root privileges on compromised appliances. Cisco has identified a limited number of affected devices, particularly those with certain ports accessible from the Internet. In this video, we'll explore the details of the vulnerability, the nature of the ongoing attacks, and the recommended steps for users to protect their systems. If you find this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals. In the timeline of events, the critical vulnerability was first recognized by Cisco on December 10, 2025, when evidence of the intrusion campaign emerged. The flaw, tracked as CV 2025-20393, is particularly alarming due to its maximum CVSS score of 10.0, indicating it poses an extreme risk to affected systems. Cisco identified that the exploitation activity had been ongoing since late November 2025, suggesting a well-coordinated attack by the threat actor U809686. As investigations progressed, Cisco discovered that the attackers had implemented a persistence mechanism within compromised appliances, allowing them to maintain control even after initial access. This tactic underscores the sophistication of U809686, which has previously been linked to other Chinese hacking groups, hinting at a broader pattern of state-sponsored cyber threats. The specific conditions required for successful exploitation, namely the configuration of the spam quarantine feature and its exposure to the Internet, highlight a critical area of concern for organizations using Cisco's Secure Email Gateway and Secure Email and Web Manager. The fact that the spam quarantine feature is not enabled by default offers a slight reprieve, but it also places the onus on administrators to ensure proper configurations to mitigate risk. In response to the threats, Cisco has issued comprehensive recommendations for users, emphasizing the importance of restoring appliances to secure configurations and implementing strict access controls. The urgency of these measures is further amplified by the inclusion of CV 2025-20393 in the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency's Known Exploited Vulnerabilities Catalog, mandating federal agencies to take swift action by December 24, 2025. Moreover, concurrent cyber activity has been noted, with Greynoise reporting a surge in automated credential-based attacks targeting enterprise VPN infrastructures. This trend suggests a potential escalation in cyber threats, as attackers leverage various methods to exploit vulnerabilities across multiple platforms, further complicating the security landscape for organizations globally. As the situation evolves, the cybersecurity community remains vigilant, monitoring for additional developments and adapting strategies to counteract the increasing sophistication of cyber threats. In light of the critical zero-day vulnerability affecting Cisco's AsyncOS software, organizations must assess their cybersecurity posture and adopt proactive measures to mitigate risks. The vulnerability, which allows for arbitrary command execution with root access, underscores the importance of a robust security framework, especially for those utilizing the affected email security appliances. Organizations should prioritize immediate risk assessments to identify if their systems are configured in a way that exposes them to this vulnerability. Given that the exploit targets the spam quarantine feature, it is crucial to verify whether this feature is enabled and accessible from the Internet. If it is, organizations should consider disabling it until a patch is available. Furthermore, implementing network segmentation can significantly enhance security. By isolating email and management functions onto separate interfaces, organizations can reduce the attack surface and limit the potential for lateral movement within their networks. This practice, combined with stringent firewall rules that restrict access to trusted IP addresses, will fortify defenses against unauthorized access attempts. Monitoring and logging are also vital. Organizations should establish comprehensive logging mechanisms to track web traffic and detect any anomalies that could indicate exploitation attempts. Regularly reviewing logs can help identify unauthorized access or suspicious command executions, allowing for timely incident response. In terms of authentication, adopting strong end-user verification methods, such as SAML or LDAP, can further bolster security. Organizations should also ensure that default passwords are changed to complex, unique passwords to prevent easy exploitation. In cases where a compromise is suspected, Cisco recommends rebuilding affected appliances to eliminate any persistent threats. This step highlights the necessity of having a robust incident response plan in place, allowing organizations to act swiftly and effectively in the event of a breach. Lastly, the involvement of the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, and the addition of this vulnerability to the known exploited vulnerabilities catalog should serve as a wake-up call for organizations. Federal agencies are mandated to implement mitigations by a specified deadline, emphasizing the urgency for all organizations to prioritize remediation efforts and align with best practices in cybersecurity. By taking these recommendations seriously, organizations can better safeguard their systems against not only this specific threat but also future vulnerabilities that may arise in an ever-evolving cyber landscape. In response to the critical zero-day vulnerability identified in Cisco's AsyncOS software, organizations are urged to implement comprehensive mitigation and monitoring strategies to safeguard their systems. The first step involves assessing the configuration of affected appliances, specifically checking if the spam quarantine feature is enabled and exposed to the internet. Organizations should prioritize limiting external access by placing these devices behind firewalls that restrict traffic to trusted sources only. Regular monitoring of weblog traffic is essential to detect any anomalies or unauthorized access attempts. This proactive approach can help identify potential exploitation attempts before they escalate into significant security breaches. Additionally, organizations should consider segmenting their network, ensuring that email management functionalities are isolated from other operational components. This separation can reduce the risk of lateral movement within the network in case of a compromise. Given the sophisticated nature of the threat actor involved in these attacks, organizations are encouraged to enhance their authentication methods. Implementing strong end-user authentication protocols such as SAML or LDAP can significantly reduce the likelihood of unauthorized access. Furthermore, it is advisable to disable any unnecessary network services and change default passwords to more secure alternatives to bolster overall security. In the unfortunate event of a confirmed compromise, Cisco recommends that affected organizations undertake a complete rebuild of their appliances. This step is crucial to eliminate any persistent threats introduced by the attackers. Additionally, the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, has mandated that federal civilian executive branch agencies apply the necessary mitigations by December 24, 2025. This requirement underscores the urgency for organizations to act swiftly to protect their networks from potential exploitation. As the situation evolves, continuous vigilance and adaptation of security measures will be vital in countering the persistent threats posed by advanced actors like UAT 9686. Organizations must remain informed about the latest developments and adjust their strategies accordingly to ensure robust defenses against emerging vulnerabilities. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals.